Guys, welcome back to my channel. I actually don't have to scream today for once because I have a mic. I have a new beauty light. It's not on very high because the light drowns me out. So I just ask that you guys bear with me for the next few videos till I figure out lighting, sound, all that kind of stuff. So we are gathered here today to do probably my favorite video that I'll ever do on this channel. So we know I'm gonna have like things like true crime and cooking and all kinds of things on my channel. But I also want to delve into the conspiracy theory side of me. I used to not really be into conspiracy theories, but that's changed probably in the last 5 years, thanks to YouTube, of course. But I'd like to share with you guys some of my very favorite conspiracy theories. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. Now, I heard about this story in 2017 from my favorite YouTuber, Kendall Ray. And when I heard it then, it blew my mind. And that's the scary part, is it blew my mind then, and like my hair stands up on the back of my neck today. That's why I'm doing the video now, because this video makes more sense now than ever. Now, I'm gonna sound a little crazy in this video because obviously it's a conspiracy theory, so I need you guys to just give this video a chance, okay? Watch it to the end, give it a chance. Be open-minded when you watch this video, okay? It's gonna sound crazy, I'm aware of that. I'm gonna sound crazy, I'm aware of that as well. Just bear with me, please, okay? So, this video is on a man named John TITOR. TITOR, I don't know, but we're gonna go with John TITOR is what I'm gonna call him, okay? So this man is what is known as a time traveler, okay? I know, I already sound crazy saying time traveler. Okay, so this man, where do I start exactly? This video is going to be very confusing too, I'm not going to lie, so I need you guys to have your thinking caps on, okay? It's so confusing. If you've watched the movie Interstellar, that would help a lot. I didn't watch it at the time, so I had a little bit of a hard time too, but then I watched it, and I understood. So you might want to do that, but I'm going to try to make it make sense the best that I can, okay? So John TITOR, he was born in 1998, okay? This all started the end of 2000 and the beginning of 2001. So like December of 2000 to March is how far as it got in 2001. So this is like when the internet just came out, okay? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I remember I'm 26. Half my audience probably wasn't alive back then. When the internet first started out, it was nothing like it is now at all. You didn't have Wi-Fi, it wasn't even a thing. Like YouTube, apps, none of that stuff was a thing. You literally had to choose between the phone or the internet, okay? Literally, so if you picked up the house phone, it made this deathly ill noise, which means you can't call no one, and no one can call you, okay? So the internet was a very popular place. It was just now starting to get things like chat rooms. YouTube wasn't even a thought at this time period, okay? So in these chat rooms, there was a chat room for time travelers to like seriously talk about time travel. And in this chat entered in a man named John TITOR, okay? So John TITOR began to tell his story, and you're gonna see, it's so crazy, you guys. It sounds so stupid, but when I tell you this stuff, the stuff that actually happened and is happening now, it's gonna blow your mind. So John TITOR came into the chat room, started talking about time travel and explained to people that he is from the year 2036. He traveled all the way back in time to the year 1975, okay? And he traveled back to 1975 to get this computer from IMB.
Hi, dumb bitch here to let you know it's not IMB, it's IBM for sure.
Like one of the first computer creators. It was the IMB 51, I believe. Now this computer has a function on it that nobody knew about at the time. No one even knew until 2004, I believe. This function gave the ability to pretty much translate any kind of computer language, like code. Coding is like how smart people in computers talk, like numbers and all that crazy stuff. And this very first computer had the function to translate any code into understandable language that we can understand. Nobody knew this function existed, okay? At the time this computer came out, it wasn't announced. It wasn't announced because they didn't want competitors to know to try to do the same thing. Like I said, it wasn't even announced until 2004. So John TITOR said that that's why he needed that computer, because the story's so crazy and it's so long. Okay, in 2036 in the future, there was pretty much a huge civil war, okay? And in this civil war, pretty much there's nuclear bombs at the time that can blow up just cities, so they're a little more accurate than what we have now. If we even know that, we could have those now, we don't know. A lot of us don't know anything about nuclear bombs. I don't know anything about them, so I'm sure with how everything's advanced to this day, we probably do. So we went on a civil war, and John didn't really say what the war was against, if it was like blacks against whites or anything like that, but he did kind of hint around about it, just how he talked, and what it sounded like was the people versus the government. Sound familiar? Now, I know you're thinking, yeah, that sounds familiar, but this is 2036. So let me rewind a little bit, okay? I'm gonna explain John's theory of time travel. Okay, so time travel was invented, and it's in a suitcase, it weighs 500 pounds, and it's in a car. So the only way to travel is in a car in his time, okay? Remember that. In his time period, 2036, they travel in a car. I know it sounds like a ripoff of the DeLorean and Back to the Future, but it's all gonna make sense eventually. So time travel is not what we would think it is. It's not that easy, okay? So this is where the movie Interstellar comes into play too. The way John describes time is linear going this way, okay? You would think time goes back and forth on a sliding scale. No, time is linear and that way, okay? So what I mean by that is when you walk into a fun house with mirrors, okay? And they're all along the wall. You look over and it's yourself reflecting over and over and over and over to infinity pretty much on the right side. You look to your left, same thing, reflection repeating over and over and over. So here you are, okay? When you travel forward, so it's parallel universes pretty much. When you travel forward, so do all those other selves. They travel forward as well. That way you, some version of you is always in the time period. Because if you went time traveling now, you would think, oh, well, you're not gonna be here, you're gonna disappear. No, because the ones behind you jump into your time period. So that's what John said, and now that you think about it to this day, it kind of explains the theory of the Mandela effect. Let me explain why. John said when you travel through time, there is a 1 to 2% difference, okay? Sounds little, and it is. So it's just like little things. Obviously you've seen that movie like The Butterfly Effect, and they say when you do one thing, you kill a bug, it can make something like the towers not fall in 2001. Kind of like that, but on a lower scale. So things like how the biggest example of the Mandela effect is the Berenstain Bears. A lot of us remember it being the Berenstain Bears, but apparently it's always been the Berenstain Bears. Girl, where? Because that was my shit back in the day, and honey, it was not no Berenstain Bears, okay? So, now it kind of makes sense. Because if John traveled into our timeline back then, our timeline that we live on now has been altered. So that 1 or 2 different things will be a little bit different, like little things like that. Advertisements, commercials, things like that, okay? So that's how time travel has been explained in his concept pretty much, okay? Now, we can fast forward back to what I was saying about 2036, the war. See, it came true, a lot of them didn't, and some of them are off at the time, okay? So anyway, there was a war, and it sounded like it was between the people and the government, okay? And this war was crazy. 3 million people died, which is just, oh my God, that's like an insane number, okay? 3 million people died in this war, John said. Everything was destroyed. And if you think about it, we have scientists now, but they're not as prone like we used to. And I doubt most scientists are brushing up on skills from the 70s, like how a computer works. Like we're way advanced past that. So a lot of things got destroyed in these cities and things like computers. So we had to go back to get this computer to reset pretty much all of technology, okay? They needed to go back to that time period. And John said, when you time travel, because he was in what's called as a militia, okay? So in his period now, it's after the war, he's in an army, or what's called as a militia, which is the same thing they do in other countries, which means everyone that lived in the country has to fight in the militia. They all have to be in the war at a certain age, which kind of scares me, makes me glad I'm not having kids, because are my future kids gonna have to fight in a militia? I don't want that, you know? They send people that have family attached to the process, because that's easier to convince somebody if you know facts about them and their history, things like that. So when they sent John back, this part blows my mind. They sent John back to 1975, and then he had to make another stop into 2001, okay? 2000, and he left in 2001. It wasn't a planned stop, but he said that when he made this stop, he actually stopped Y2K, which is crazy to me, because Y2K sounded dumb when I heard about it back then, and it sounds dumb now.
Coming New Year's Eve, thousands of Americans will be spending the night at the last place they might have expected.
A record number of Americans will be hard at work. More than 800 companies have called in extra employees, more than 3 million in all. Even their bosses will be working the holiday. Almost everyone is preparing for the worst. Potential Y2K computer crashes top the list. In Jersey City, 400 bankers will be ready to take calls from investors.
ABC 2000 continues live from around the world. Once again from New York, Peter Jennings.
Welcome back to our Millennium coverage. For those people who are anxious about flying, may still want to fly around the new year, want to go to Washington to FAA headquarters where our Lisa Stark is standing by. Lisa, what's the state of aviation today?
Peter, we're at the command center, the NERS Center for the Federal Aviation Administration, where they are tracking, as you can see behind me, all those white dots on the map there. They are tracking over 3,000 planes here in the United States. Now, we just talked to the gentleman here who is responsible for international aviation. As you know, all throughout the day, you've been going to these countries which have already reached the next century, and he is telling us that they have absolutely no problems reported anywhere. No problems with airports, no problems with airplanes, no problems with air traffic control systems. So right now, everything looks very, very good from their standpoint all across the world.
So many people were worried about Russia, and they were particularly worried about the Ukraine. Did nothing happen untoward at all?
Well, not that we know of. At the moment, everything looks fine in Ukraine, as far as we know.
Of course, there's been tremendous planning for Y2K throughout the world.
No significant problems are being reported from areas that have already entered the new year. Midnight passed in Russia, and nuclear power plants there continued operating without a hitch. And the Y2K bug has had no effect on ATMs across Asia or in Australia or New Zealand. U.S. government officials say the Y...
But who knows? Everything else I thought I knew, it sounds like I don't know anymore, you know? So when he went back in 2001, he stayed with his family, which is the crazy part. And a baby version of himself, okay? His family let him stay with them. When he went back in 1975, he went to meet his grandfather because his grandfather worked on the first IMB 51. Now, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, there was a show called Art Bell. It's a show, I think it was a radio show, kind of like what I do now. Obviously, it was a radio version on topics like this. So we did a show, and he had people write in like, oh, here's a fax number. If you're a time traveler, please write in. It was like a serious thing. So they get messages from none other than John TITOR, okay? John TITOR. He sends a message in and he says, in my future, there's a huge skyscraper. Where is it? It's not here. Where is the skyscraper? This is in 2000, okay? The next year, 9/11 happened. He pretty much predicted that. And it gets crazier, let me just tell you. Then he asks in these little forums, his chat rooms, he's pretty talkative, which I appreciate. If you want to look at some of this stuff yourself, you can go to johntitor.com. It's everything pretty much put in a timeline that you would need to know. So, another thing he said was, care to share how you guys stopped the overheating in your space plane? Space plane. Someone said, what do you mean? He said, well, you'll just have to find out. 2003, I was in 3rd grade, and I actually remember this day very well. There was a ship called the Columbia. It sent 7 people into space. They made it into space. On their way back down, tragically, the spaceship it burnt up and disintegrated, and everyone in it died. How would you know that?
Pictures of their last moments alive.
Columbia is a beautiful ship. She's performing magnificently.
GNC flight. Everything looked good to you. Control and rates and everything is nominal, right?
Control's been stable. We have good trims. I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
I've just lost 4 separate temperature transducers on the left side of the vehicle, hydraulic return temperatures.
And Columbia, Houston, we see your tire pressure messages, and we did not copy your last.
Is it instrumentation, Max?
Flight Max, those are also all.
Columbia, Houston, comm check. Columbia, Houston, UHF 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 comm check.
GC flight. Fly GC. Lock the doors. Copy.
How would he know that? Sweetie, it gets better, okay? As if things couldn't get any crazier. He tells us that mass media was pretty much gonna go down the shitter in the future, and that there would be people uploading their own news on the computer, future creators. Me, hello, this community, YouTube. How would he predict YouTube? YouTube wasn't even a word back then. The job I do now on YouTube, it wasn't even a job when I was in high school, you guys. So you mean to tell me this man just magically predicted all of these crazy things? And if things can't get crazier, someone's like, okay, prove the time machine. He does. He comes up with a pretty much a blueprint of the time machine that they use. And still to this day, okay, 2020, nobody can figure out what this blueprint is. It's not a copy of anything, nothing. There have been doctors and scientists and mathematicians that have looked at it and said all his math is literally on point, but they don't know what this is from. Hello, what is it from, you guys? With all the tools we have now on the internet, it has to be genuine, okay? So I'm gonna explain what he said where time travel came from. There's this company, because it's important too, okay? There's this company called CERN. You can look them up yourself. He says CERN is the first company to pretty much create their own mini black holes called microsingularities. And he says that's how time travel is created. If you take two black holes and you inject electrons, I believe, onto them and reverse the spin, it creates a gravity field, allowing you to travel pretty much on the timeline of the future and the past, okay? He says you can't go back 60 years is the furthest you can go back. You can't go back further than that, or that 1 to 2% will change to a bigger percentage, and bigger things could be changed in the future and in the past. But if you look it up, you guys, that's the thing that's so crazy. CERN is working on that right now. Right now. I just saw a video probably a month ago of them creating this black hole. Things get crazier too. John, back then in 2000, also said that Steve Jobs, I think that's his name, the guy in the wheelchair, God forgive me, you know, the scientist, Stephen Hawking, that's his name, that he would admit one day that the biggest mistake of his career is that he misunderstood how black holes work. He did. I think it was like 5 years ago. He literally just admitted that. I just read another article too the other day saying that they are pretty much know nothing about black holes now. They thought they knew how they worked and they don't. I'm gonna try to link some of the articles down below for you guys. Now, God, it just gets crazier and crazier. So John disappeared pretty much up until, we don't know if it was him, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it was him. Up until the Las Vegas shooting, I believe it was 2 years ago. And someone in a chat room, again, named John, no last name attached to it, but named John, this was like months before, predicted the shooting pretty much. He told everyone to stay out of Vegas this time period, that there would be some kind of government activity being done to sway voting, to make things happen pretty much. So it's another conspiracy, I believe it, I'm sure a lot of people do, that the government stages things like mass shootings and things like that to sway the crowd towards a certain vote or towards a certain change. He knew that was gonna happen. He literally wrote in a forum, and I'll link that too. And if that wasn't crazy enough, I believe that because there was an interview done from a news person after the Vegas shooting, and she found this girl who was there for her birthday. And the girl says, well, let me just post what she says for you guys.
You were here for your 21st birthday.
Yes, that's correct.
Tell me a little bit about what you saw, what you heard.
We went back up to the room, and as soon as we reached the room from the concert venue, we just heard constant shootings. At first we thought it was fireworks, but then it was shooting.
And then somebody said something to you to tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so there was a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue, into the first row, and she started messing with another lady and told us that we were all gonna die tonight.
Do you know why she was saying that? I mean, was this after the shots were fired, or?
It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired, but then she was escorted out.
Like, yeah, he got some things wrong, okay? Some things he predicted are a little wrong. Maybe, because I thought they were wrong too when I first heard this from my favorite YouTuber channel, because she did a video on it, Kendall Wright, and in 2017. I was like, some things are a little off, you know? But now they're happening. They're literally happening now. And it makes total sense if he's right about the 1 to 2% difference in time. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think about. It's one of the conspiracies that made me believe in conspiracies, really. Because some of the stuff you just can't make up. I mean, truly, not in 2000. There's no way you're gonna predict certain details of, because let me explain this to you guys. Predictions in 2000 of the future are like episodes of The Simpsons and Futurama with flying cars. Things they thought we would have that are outrageous that we don't have that are not plausible. So for someone to predict things to a T like that sounds pretty accurate to me, don't you guys think? And I believe in time travel, I really do. And another thing John said, it just gets crazier and crazier, that one day we would see a bunch of UFO sightings. And those UFOs are not UFOs. They are future time traveling machines. Remember how I said in his time they use cars? Well, it would only make sense for that to progress in the future, you know? So those UFOs we see and those weird shaped flying, you know, objects that are like triangles and stuff and the ones that literally you see in the sky, they pop up and they disappear. Those are supposedly future time travelers. It's like everything's starting to make sense now, at least to me, and it's scary. It's like, God, how much do we really not know what's going on in this world? I feel like the government does that on purpose. They want us to stay in these little bubbles pretty much. So we think, you know, nothing bigger in the world is going on. And all these little dumb things like the color of each other's skin and differences between each other and the two political parties stay to being what's most important to us when there's such a bigger world out there. Such a bigger world. So if you guys like conspiracy videos, give this video a like and I'll do a lot more. There's a lot more I want to do. I want to do some on aliens. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Fuck. Okay, we're gonna try to vlog today for the first vlog. I'm canoeing and let me just tell you, it's not going very well. I'm a little bit scared. It's hot and there's bugs. What kind of shell? And then let me show you my friend who's with me. How do I make this work? Okay, I can't show my friend.
Turn the camera around.
Say hi to everybody.
Hello, okay.
That's Bryn. Okay. We're about to go over a waterfall, so I need everybody to fucking pray for me, because we're probably gonna die today. Oh my God, I'm scared. How the fuck am I supposed to do this? We're gonna let her drive, okay? We're gonna mind our business, Brittany. Oh my God. Anyway, guys, so I'm gonna try to start. Okay, get me wet a little bit. All right, I'm gonna call you back because we're probably gonna die. So I might put some clips in it in this video. I might not. Honestly, don't know. But all right, guys, I'm back. We went down a waterfall. It was quite crazy, but we're okay. Thank God. I forgot I can't smoke on YouTube anymore. It's illegal now. Where is it? Is it gone? Sorry, there was a some kind of roach flying around. Jesus, take the wheel. Anyway, look at the scenery, guys. It's so cute. You're gonna have to get with the program, okay? So anyway, I'm not gonna start a vlog channel, I don't think, but I'm gonna try to vlog every couple days. We'll see how it goes. I'm honestly not gonna lie, I'm not the most busiest person nowadays. Because I'm off work and I'm going back to school and everything. Okay. Oh God. I'm about to literally end up killing these bugs.
If you make us flip because of a fucking dragon.
I'm so sorry. I'm kind of scared because I heard this morning that some people think when you get reincarnated, when you die, you turn into a bug. And honey, that ain't gonna be me because I'll end up dead the first week. I'm scared. All these fucking bugs. I think our boat's sinking because the water's looking like it's rising. Doesn't it? Oh my God. This wasn't my idea, if you guys are aware. I'm not, oh God. Yeah, so there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about too. So I'm probably gonna make a video. I wanna do a lot of things. Like I wanna bring back the old school YouTube that I love, okay? YouTube is going crazy right now with everything going on with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star and Tati. Like it's a horrible place and I hate that. I came to YouTube because I loved the community. I loved it. I love all the vast differences and I love that I could watch whatever I want, when I want, at the tip of my fingers, you know? So I wanna bring things back to old creator content. So I wanna do things like Tana is one of my favorite, you guys know Tana Mojo, my favorite YouTuber probably of all time. I wanna do things like she does, like I wanna do story times and mukbangs and things like that. So if you guys like the idea, let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see. I am always open to ideas. And like I said, just bear with me, as I am doing YouTube full time now, so I'm gonna try to get out 2 videos a week. I'm trying to get my content to be better with the mic and the ring light and everything like that. I'm gonna build a background here soon in my house, pretty much a little studio for myself. So, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Follow me on all of my socials, and please subscribe to my channel. Don't just watch it. Please, it helps me so much to get monetized and make money, and to keep doing this for you guys and for myself. I don't just do it for you guys. Like, this is like a hobby I always wanted to do, and I finally got the balls to do it, and I'd love to be able to keep doing it. I'd love to make it a career, you know? So, that being said, you guys have a good day. Bye. One more thing, popping in at the end because I forgot. I am starting to do some brand deals, so I will have some affiliate codes possibly in the next upcoming videos. But what's very important to me is I don't ever want to push a brand on you guys that I don't believe in, so I'm waiting to get the products so I can try them myself. And if I like them or love them, I'll let you guys know my honest opinion. And I will have affiliate codes at the bottom for you guys to save percents up to like 30, 40, 50%. Okay? Thank you.